stopped in at the Class B leading Grove Porsche team, and as I walked in, a team member from the McLaren squad walked in. They're going along the lane asking all of the teams that are in between them and the leaders to bunch up. They don't want to have big gaps for this next restart. They don't want to give away a free second or two or three to those guys up the front. So they're asking the Focus team, they're asking the Porsche team, bunch up, don't leave any big gaps. We need as much margin as we can.
Well, somebody who needs that margin to be there is the 88 team, Maranello Motorsports. We're not happy to see that yellow come out. They are still in the lead, and the time is still clicking off the clock. That is what's important right now. But if these guys can hang on for about the next 15 minutes, then they will go to victory lane.
How long can you hold your breath for, Crailsey? Because the next 15 minutes might just be like that. Craig Lowndes leads the motor race, gets on the power nice and early. The M5 is in the pit lane. There's no issue about him overtaking that car as he comes down to Maguire's. He's got the drop. And the two Fiats come into the pit lane. That's great news for Maxi Burke and everybody who's coming through behind him. Big applause from Maranello Motorsports on the pit wall. Maxi Burke then in second place. He is charging up. Shane van Gisbergen, there he is in the McLaren going across the line. Heck, the speed on the start-finish straight when you see it from that whip pan on the camera. They are really hauling up Mountain Straight again. And the great thing for Craig Lowndes is the fact that there's 5 cars on the lead lap. He's not just racing one car, he's racing 5, but they're all racing each other as well.
So Lowndes has got ground on Maxi Burke, and there's the Lamborghini in between. There goes Shane van Gisbergen in the 63 car just in front. That is for track position. That is for third on the road. For the podium, the Liqui-Moly 12 hour. So Van Gisbergen is in a prime position. They're gonna have 4 or 5 laps maximum in this race in the next 11 and a half minutes. 18:03 local time, 18:15 checkered.
18:13 plus a lap, that's what you're looking for. 18:13 plus 1 lap. And now we've had half a day's racing coming down to 10 minutes to 600 seconds. And it is broken down like that because every single fraction is going to count. And already Shane van Gisbergen is on the back of the 63 car and he's coming down the hill now, down from the top of the mountain. He can't afford to be patient. He's got to make the moves. This is like one of those challenges on a video game when you know you've only got a certain amount of laps and you've got to get by. There's going to be paid traded. There could be no quarter asked or given here, and Will Davison will know that. He's got a fast car in a straight line, and that's going to be the issue for the McLaren. We saw the Ferrari had trouble with the Mercedes-Benz early on. Has the McLaren got anything more in a straight line?
It's been better in a straight line than the Audis and the Ferraris this weekend, so I like Van Gisbergen's chance, but he's been unbelievable under brakes this weekend, so watch them go into the chase. This is for third, the longest race in Australian motorsport, and it goes down to the final 10 minutes of a day that has given us everything. It's been unbelievable. Lowndes about to come to the start-finish line now. Crosses the line, a 7.3 first rolling lap. 6.7 for Maxi Burke. The gap's 2.4. Van Gisbergen will come to the line and does a 7.1, chasing Will Davison for third.
And they go down to the first corner, Hell Corner. You know, I've just thought the other thing that does help Lowndes, apart from the fact he can turn up the engine map and get a little more power out of that Ferrari, is he's got a clear track in front of him, at least for 3 or 4 laps, until he gets onto the back of that train. Then all hell breaks loose because everybody is so packed up. He's going to have to start taking risks that he wasn't doing before when he had 16 or 20 seconds. But first of all, Van Gisbergen has got to get past this 4th place car, this 3rd place car of Will Davison. This is for a spot on the podium, but it's not about 3rd place for Van Gisbergen. It's about someone who is another 8 seconds up the road, and that's the leader of this race, Craig Lowndes.
We've seen Van Gisbergen pass on the outside, the inside. He's always driven undercars today. Do not put any corner out of the question for him to pull a move on Will Davison, but Davo's one of the best and brightest in the sport. He will be well up to this. Across the top of the mountain they go, the McLaren, following the thundering SLS Merc with bits of bodywork flying off at 220k across the top of the mountain.
Where is he going to make the move? We've seen him pull off some unbelievable manoeuvres in places that we've never seen passers made in the whole history of the racing on the mountain. 5 laps to go, we reckon, on time. It'll take us to 296 laps, and that would be a new distance record here for the Liqui-Moly Bathurst 12 hours. Again, the issue is the big torque of that big V8 Mercedes-Benz. there's no doubt in my mind that if it was a clear track and the leader was 8 seconds up the road, that Van Gisbergen would get to him. But there's not one but two Mercedes-Benz between him and the leader. Here's the second one, second place, and he's closing down on the leader.
It's 1.7 seconds, Craig Lowndes to Maximilian Buch. So Lowndes just playing the game. He's done this before, knows what it's all about. Ferrari versus Mercedes at the front. You start to worry if you're Craig Lowndes, if the Mercedes gets within a couple of car lengths, because it's so good in a straight line, it becomes very difficult to defend on the run up to the mountain and the 1.8 kilometre long run down Conrod Straight. That's the look down at HTP Motorsport. What a job that team has done today to get themselves back into contention.
And they fancy themselves. You can see that there's nerves there, but that gap is going down. But once again, let's talk about the different strengths and weaknesses, relative weaknesses of these cars. The Ferrari is super fast over the top of the mountain. The Mercedes-Benz is very quick on the straights. This is a massive compromise circuit because you have 3 parts of the circuit, 1 very twisty, 2 very quick.
You cannot underestimate the experience factor.
Here's the traffic.
This is when mountain experience will pay off for Craig Lowndes compared to the young German that's chasing him down. This is where Craig needs to put every ounce of his laps and the experience he's gained and all his success at this place to absolutely drive this Ferrari as straight as square as he can to keep it in front of the flying Mercedes. But it's there. The gap's 0.4 of a second. There's 7 minutes to go and it's on for the lead.
And you know what? That Mercedes-Benz is doing a great job. Everybody getting out of the way of the leaders. Everybody will be on the pits to car radio. But I think that Mercedes-Benz might just be close enough here, you know, to have a little drag and have a look down Conrod Straight at 285 kilometres in about 15 or 20 seconds time when they turn right-handed into the chase. These two cars may well be side by side. Maxi Buch is giving it everything. No one can look down in the pit lane. Everyone is holding their breath, and the 6.5 minutes of racing still to go.
5/10, but the margin's redundant. It's all about track position and who can place their car the best to get to the checkered flag. Unbelievable battle,
wow.
And that it comes down to this is incredible. And Lowndes is right on the ragged edge through the kink in the chase, and look how close the SLS gets. If Lowndes can beat him off the mountain on the final lap of this, he'll be a chance because he'll drive that thing down the middle of the road. But if Maxi gets a run, it might be too tough for him to hold on.
Don't forget, we've seen the Mercedes-Benz changing the brake pads, and that may well be the difference in these cars, because I've been surprised at the pace of that Maranello Ferrari, but look at how much later that Mercedes-Benz is braking, and that, which I thought had taken them out of the lead, that might be the master stroke. We didn't know it at the time, and all of a sudden, it's coming to that HTP Mercedes-Benz as they go up the mountain straight. The leader is going to have to stay driver's right and send him the long way around into Griffin's Bench. Surely he can't go from that far around. They're side by side. He's gone through. He knows it's into the lead, but the Ferrari has the racing line and there's no way through. Racing room, Aston Given. Brilliant stuff from two top drivers, Craig Lowndes and Maxi Buch. Inches from disaster, but fight on into the last 5 minutes.
It's Mark Winterbottom and Jamie Whincup from October all over again. It's unbelievable how this place continues to deliver. What a finish.
We're based just off the media room here on the pit straight, and everybody is staring at the screens. The timing screen doesn't matter now. It's all about the last 5 minutes, 3 laps, possibly only 2, between these 2, 3, 4 cars and the winner's podium for the Liqui-Moly Bathurst 12 Hours of 2014. Richard Craill, this has been another cracker, and it's not over yet.
I just want to confirm, I think Van Gisbergen's got past Will Davison for 3rd, so I think the McLaren could be on the podium. So, and Maxi Buch, yeah, held up. That could be the difference, 1st to 2nd in this motor race, and more lap cars for the SLS to deal with. Here's the move. This is 3rd. Van Gisbergen trying to make a hole where there wasn't one.
Trying to go down the inside in the faulted tyres, hairpin, and nearly gets pushed into the wall. Don't forget the timing glitch on that 63 car. We need to always confirm those positional changes by seeing it on the track, because they lost their transponder when they lost most of the right-hand side bodywork of that car. It hasn't slowed them down. The lap traffic stays to driver's right, and Craig Lowndes has got breathing room. It's 18:11, 2 more minutes, and then 1 more lap. After that, there's 2 more laps left of the motor race. It'll be laps 2:96, I think, as they go through. Paul Truswell nods This is the battle for the final step on the podium, and these two guys, I think, are slightly holding each other up, and they're not getting back to the leading pair.
And they've already broken a distance record. 294 laps is the most ever completed in a 12-hour race, and there's more to go yet. So Paul Trustwell's predictions of how far we go were absolutely bang on, and as expected. 3 minutes and 26 seconds to go. Lowndes, we can talk gap now. It's 1.9 seconds. That moment around the outside at turn 2 was everything for this motor race, because it just got book offline and gave Lowndes a little bit of breathing room, and the fight is on now for 3rd place. So let's take another look. Wild stuff on the outside, and Lowndes was in control of this, remember, because he can squeeze his opponent wide.
Yeah, on the Maguire's replay into Griffin's Bend, that was an awesome manoeuvre, and yeah, we held on to it. Oh, we've got it. No, we haven't. We thought we had the lead, but it's gone back. And look at how much it means for all these guys. They've worked for 4 days, not just this 12 hours. First and second are back together. And the leader gets held up. He's got to go one way or the other. Here comes Maximilian Burke down the middle, over the top of Brock Skyline, and there's nothing in it again. And actually, brilliant piece of driving for Craig Lowndes. He didn't commit himself one way or the other. He could have put himself offline and lost the lead. He knew that if he couldn't get past, neither could Maxi Burke. So he's controlled that. He's still going to have just enough, I think, as he comes out of the Falcon Tyres hairpin. It will be the last lap next time around, and this is going to be tight for 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Well, that's not over yet. If you can take a breath, do it now, because in the next 3 minutes we're going to find out who is on the podium, and it's been any 3 from 4 for the Liqui-Moly Bathurst 12 hours of 2014.
I bet Craig Lowndes wishes he had SLS type top speed, because that's the weakness of the Ferrari. Remember, fresh brakes on this HTP Mercedes as well, and that's making a difference. We've seen it. We saw how deep he went 2 laps ago at turn 2 to go around the outside of Craig Lowndes, but all that experience and goal of the V8 Supercar legend held on in front. This is unbelievable stuff. 1:39 left on the clock. Not long to go in the 12-hour.
He can't move over on him from there. He has to take the racing line, otherwise he compromises the speed up the mountain straight too much. John Bow watching his teammate. He knows what's going on. We are on the last lap. Did we see the last lap ball go out? Have we got one more? I think this is the last lap.
18-13 plus 1. Here goes Book. He'll try around the outside again, but Lowndes drives it down the middle of the road. He'll hold on.
Lowndes, he's got to be getting the power on nice and smoothly, and he does exactly that. I'm seeing one of the last 2 corners for the Mercedes-Benz, using the additional braking power that he's got. He's got to be right there. I don't think he's quite got the power. They've really turned up the Maranello engine on the bright red Ferrari. Craig Lowndes actually has done all right after the safety car period, saved a bit of fuel, and here comes the issue again. It's going to be down to the traffic. It's the Donut King Lotus and holds up the leader, but once again Lowndes positions his car right in the middle of the road. But here comes Burke round the outside into Brock Skyline. Last lap, half a lap to go for 2014 in the Liqui-Moly Bathurst 12 hours.
Spare a thought for Peter Edwards, who's put a lot of his own money and time into building his program with Mark Coffey at Maranello Motorsport. And what about John Bow and Mick Asalo, the Flying Finn, who's done an outstanding job all weekend?
People are on the walls applauding this battle for the lead, and we're not over yet. The marshals are watching this just as much as we are. Down Conrod Straight for the final time. There's a 1/3 of a lap and 3, possibly only 2 outbraking manoeuvres left for Maxi Burke, and Craig Lowndes is putting it all on the line. This is for a Ferrari win. They've never won here. Maranello Motorsport, the emotions running high. This is Alan Simonson's car. Can they get this to the line? There's one more heavy braking down into Maguire's for the final time. The teams are on the pit wall, and he's not coming from that far back. He's not coming from that far back. Craig Lowndes brings home Alan Simonson's Ferrari and wins the Liqui-Moly 12 hours for 2014. Bathurst delivers.
The margin 0.4 of a second. 0.4, John Hindhaugh and Paul Trustwell, after 296 laps and 1,835 kilometres of the best racetrack in the land.
I'm going to put my head in a bucket of iced water. Once again, the mountain lives up to the great race moniker. In October, it was the V8 Supercars. this weekend. It's been the GT3s. Liqui-Moly Bathurst 12 hours breaks all the records. Let's go down to the pits.
John Bowe, you just won the 12 hours of Bathurst. You suffered through penalties. You've gone through it all, but congratulations, you are the winner.
Yeah, well, we are the winners, the Marinello team. Those two guys, Craig and Mick, are unbelievable. Pete Edwards is a fantastic guy, fantastic driver. He's getting better all the time, and everybody that supports us. The guys, two guys came from Italy to help us out, so like it's pretty amazing.
Now, you drove with Alan Simonson last year. What does this win mean to you?
Well, I think it's great for the team. The last 3 years we've all driven together, and we haven't finished. So, you know, to finish and finish first is amazing. Even my age, I'm stoked.
We'll go celebrate on the podium, John.
Okay, thank you.
That is a man in the very early stages of a very big hangover as he walks away to the team. Marinello Motorsports have done it. There's a man in a green shirt down there. If we get a shot of him, it's Hector Lester, who put Alan Simonson in a GT car in British GTs many years ago and is masterminding now the career of Alan's brother Benny. And what about the race further back down? And look, Maxi Burke and Craig Lowndes, they knew they left nothing out there. That was everything.
Maxi Burke tried twice to wrangle the lead from the best, one of the best that this place has ever seen, and what a fantastic finish, Paul Trustwell. The drama and the safety car did close it up towards the end. It was a valid safety car. There was a bad crash at the top of Mount Panorama, but so much of that race was a natural, pure, raw endurance race where it all happened naturally.
Every good endurance race has 1,000 stories of what if and if only and all of those types of things, and there were so many of them, even in the last few minutes of that race. There could have been all kinds of tiny little things which happened.
Will Davison gets third. Can you believe that? After the day they've had, they couldn't, held out Shane van Gisbergen, the fastest driver around Mount Panorama, new outright lap record holder too, as the remaining cars come through. And it's almost sad in a way that we don't get to see that amazing battle towards the end. Boydo with more of the celebrations.
Yeah, down here with team principal Mark Coffey. Mark, I don't know if it's your greatest moment in motorsport, but it's certainly your most emotional. We're going to take these glasses off. Mate, congratulations, what a great result.
Great day in the office. Just, you know, we stayed out of trouble, we had a plan, we stuck to it, but Mick Asalo's stint, Craig Lowndes' last stint, just fantastic. What more could you ask for?
You've been coming here for years trying to take this one out. Today it's come on a year that you've given away the Alan Simonson Trophy. That must mean something special to you.
All the boys are pretty choked up, as you can well imagine. This was his place, his most fond place in the world to race, and we all miss him dearly.
Is Mark Coffey paying for the drinks tonight?
I think so.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.